Welcome back once again to Official Gaddafi TV. This is your boy Official Gaddafi, and I am here to present you Chelsea transfer news daily. I have had massive improvement in my subscribers, and I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to each and every one of you who subscribed. And if you are new on this channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet, I would urge you to subscribe, because you would have all the stories, all the transfer news, everything concerning Chelsea Football Club right here at your doorstep. First of all, I'll bring you news on Kai Havertz, Wilfred Ndidi, JORGINHO, and so many other stories that you would love. The first story for today is on Kai Havertz. Chelsea are currently shifting their attention away from Jadon Sancho to Kai Havertz. This is due to the price of Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is £80 million, and Chelsea see him to be as effective as Jadon Sancho. Dortmund are looking for a figure in the excess of £100 million for Jadon Sancho. And looking at so many factors, Sancho is also 20 years, Kai Havertz 20 years. They are in the same age bracket, and they are as effective as they could be. Havertz currently has 11 goals in the Bundesliga with a further 3 assists, and Sancho is also having about 16 assists and a couple of goals too. So you can see that in terms of goal contribution, even though Sancho is slightly above Havertz, Havertz wouldn't be a bad option at all. So Chelsea are currently shifting their attention away from Jadon Sancho to Kai Havertz, and I think it makes sense. It makes sense if we cannot get Sancho, and if Havertz is going to be the headline signing for next season, it's going to be a good news for us, because looking at the boy in the Bundesliga this season, he's been marvelous. He's been fantastic. A boy of 20 years old with that kind of potency, he's very clinical in front of goals, and it's been quite a long time since we have that kind of goal-scoring midfielder. Yes, we've had Ziyech coming in, and it will also be better if we can have Kai Havertz coming in. The guy is a very, very fantastic technical player who can play even as a false 9. After the restart of the league, he's been playing as a false 9 for Leverkusen currently, and he's had about 4 or 5 goals since the restart of the league. So if you have a player with these qualities who can play on the right wing, left wing, behind the striker, and even as the striker, he can even play deeper, then you are buying a very great player for the future. So as it stands now, Chelsea are looking to turn their attention away from Jadon Sancho to Kai Havertz if Dortmund are not willing to reduce the figure, because the pandemic situation has affected the finances of all the clubs, and as it stands now, Chelsea don't see ourselves paying that amount of money for Jadon Sancho. The second story for today is on, I would say, Wilfred Ndidi and JORGINHO, because one is as a result of the other. Now, as it stands now, Juventus are strongly on the heels of JORGINHO. It's looking like Mauricio Sarri wants to reunite with JORGINHO at Juventus, like he did when he came to Chelsea. JORGINHO has been a darling boy for Mauricio Sarri, and Mauricio Sarri sees JORGINHO to be the foundation of everything that he is good at. So he's still chasing JORGINHO as it stands now, and that has led to Chelsea's links with Wilfred Ndidi. Juventus came in with an idea of coming for a player swap deals. They've offered 3 players, that is Adrien Rabiot, Douglas Costa, and Federico Bernardeschi. And it is looking like Chelsea is not interested in any of these players. They are looking for an outright sale. So in the likely event that he goes to Juventus, Chelsea have marked Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City to be as a possible replacement for JORGINHO. I think it will be a good move. it will be a good move if we are to sell Jorginho outright, because looking at the players that Juventus are offering, Rabiot, no, because our midfield is fully packed, it's very congested. Douglas Costa, I would have taken him, but for the past 2 seasons, he's never been consistent due to injuries. It seems the injuries are not going. I wouldn't say going for Douglas Costa currently in this state would be a good idea. And if you look at Federico Bernardeschi, he's also not consistent enough. Ever since he came to Juventus with a lot of promise, but he has never lived to the expectations. So I would say all these 3 players, Chelsea are not looking to be interested. First, they offered Pjanic, and Chelsea declined. So they brought these 3 players, and Chelsea currently are also declining these 3 players. They are looking for an outright sale if Jorginho have to leave. And if Jorginho is leaving and then we are investing the money in somebody like Wilfred Ndidi, that combative midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, I think it will be a good idea. Because currently, if we don't have N'Golo Kante, we don't have that kind of ball winner, that sweeper in our midfield. So if you are bringing in Wilfred Ndidi to provide cover for N'Golo Kante, I think it will be a good idea. Let me know what you think. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. The last story for today is on Moussa Dembele. We have been linked with Moussa Dembele before, especially in the January transfer window. And L'Equipe is linking Moussa Dembele to Chelsea again. And I believe it's as a result of Lyon missing out on Champions League. Lyon's season was cut short due to the COVID-19, and PSG were declared winners. And at the time that the league was being cut, Lyon was not in the Champions League spot, so they failed to qualify for the Champions League. And in the January, when Chelsea were linked with him, Lyon was quoting a figure in the region of £60 million. That was the value of the player then. But now, due to the pandemic situation, which has affected every business, L'Equipe is reporting that Dembele's value has dropped from £60 million to £45 million, which sounds very sweet. Looking at the caliber of player, his qualities, his attributes that he's possessing, for a figure of £45 million, I think it will be a very, very, very good deal if Chelsea should go ahead for this deal. And, we need a striker. We have been linked with Timo Werner, where there were even reports in the past week that Tony Rudiger has even spoken to him about a move to Chelsea. So it is very clear that Frank Lampard needs a striker, and he's also made it clear that he needs a player in the form of Moussa Dembele. So if the figure has dropped to that value, and looking at Lyon missing out on Champions League spot, it means the player, any sweet deal can tempt the player away. So, in my opinion, I think Chelsea should try, because he is a good player. He is a very, very, very quality player. Let me add this. Yesterday, there was a report, before the teams were allowed to go on training, there were a series of tests, COVID-19 tests on the players and the staff. And yesterday, the results came that out of the over 1,000 tests that was conducted, it came out that nobody tested positive to COVID-19. Nobody tested positive to COVID-19. And this goes a long way to tell you that the Project Restart is beginning to gather momentum. It means that if things should go this way, the Premier League can bounce back next month. It can bounce back next month. So as it stands now, everything is moving on smoothly in terms of the Project Restart. So we hope nothing bad comes in our way, so that we can enjoy seeing our best players back on the pitch. It's been a long time. So guys, this is where I'll end today's transfer stories. There are more, but I will urge you to subscribe to this channel so that whenever there is anything, you got to hear it first from me. This is your boy Official Gaddafi. I'm signing out. Blue till I die.